morning, good afternoon, good evening. Britt, I love your pic. Very nice. Hi, April, Wendy, Maureen, Gary, Tony. Good morning from India. Hello, Susie. Susie, have you been here before? I'm going to get a water bottle. Hold on just a second. You can see the movie theater behind me. Great, Susie, first time. So did the Conversations with God topic bring you here, or random, or me, or what? If you care to share. I'm going to take a sip here. Woo! Well, of course it was me, because we create and we attract. I'm kidding, not kidding. But yeah, thank you for that. That's good information. I'm so excited. Oh, awesome. You did a meditation. Great. Yeah, I'm so excited to be here. And actually, part of the reason I'm excited for now and for the day is because of my guided recorded meditations. And I'll share about that in a second. So, April, you have this. I got it here in India. So this is like, you can see how thin it is. It's a warm weather scarf. So like women, you have to wear, you kind of have to wear a scarf all the time here. So the one I was using, it has a lot of coverage, but it's like double layered, and it was too hot for down south in India. So this is my summer hot weather scarf I just bought. So yes, hi Nancy, Julia. So yeah, I'm so excited for many, many reasons to be here with you today. Glad that I got to schedule this in. Hi Rochelle. Yeah, because so if you are new to me, I am a spiritual life coach and Reiki master teacher. I'm here on Insight Timer often, and I have meditations. I do different things. You can find out more about me on my profile. Give me a follow here. I'm also dual live streaming right now in YouTube, so follow me there. Follow me everywhere, Facebook, Insta. So we're going to be continuing what I'm calling our meditative book listening series. So we're going to be listening to the audiobook Conversations with God, Book 1. Is there anybody here who does not know what that means, what that is? And so part of that, as we listen, I'm very focused channeling Reiki to everyone here that chooses to receive it. If you choose to receive it, you don't need to do anything except have an intention. If you don't want to receive the Reiki, then have that intention and you won't. So this topic, this book is so deep and powerful. It speaks to my soul, my heart. Whenever I think about questions about like the nature of the universe and existence, this book for me, I believe it explains it all. And yeah, and y'all that follow me know I'm here in another city with my good friend who's also a very high vibrational, amazing being. And anyway, we went to the mall the other day in the bookstore, and he was just like, get a book on me and I'll buy it for you. And I was thinking, well, I don't really want anything, but if I could find, if Conversations with God was here, that's the book I would want. Well, look what I created. So we're not going to be like, well, who knows? Who knows how this might play into our book reading, but we are going to be listening. But I'm just happy I have created this paper copy. So that's awesome. And also after this live stream, and if you've been with me, you've heard like I'm in this like home movie theater soundproof studio that's happening. And also my friend has, and he said this because I was like, because he's a YouTuber, and so he has all that stuff. And I was like, I want to record, and I've told y'all, my hypnosis, my rapid transformational therapy hypnosis for overcoming money limiting beliefs, programming about money from childhood. And I'm going to record 2 versions. One that is for like other life coaches or people that are like solo entrepreneurs that work one-on-one with people. And then I'm going to have another version that's, same but different for people that have, more of a traditional job situation with like, a 9 to 5, or they're working somewhere or something like that. So I'm going to be recording those after this. And my friend told me he has the best microphone in the world. So I'm just like, wow, allowing these creations to just come in, being with them, welcoming them, knowing I'm worthy to receive, and celebrating and acknowledging, my power as a creator. And also it's all co-creations as well, because, we are really all one. So, yeah, I will be very excited to see how this sounds. And so, yeah, stay tuned for how I may offer these recordings. I have some ideas, but I don't have like step ABC. I'm like, first I'm recording them, and then they need to be processed and all that. So very excited. Hi, William. What else? So I also have scheduled in about 48 hours from now as well. And I've mentioned it a bit recently. I'm going to be coming live on here to share about and kind of acknowledge, celebrate my 25 years clean and sober anniversary, which is February 1st, 1999. So that's going to be fun. And, the purpose of that is to acknowledge it, and also to share like inspiration of what's possible for us in our lives. If you have an addiction background, or if not, I mean, it could be that, but for you to think about what's something you feel like is impossible to overcome, or that, you might feel hopeless about, or something like that, because addiction is that until it's not. So I will be going live then, so make sure to join me for that, as well as our Saturday Night Live coming up. I haven't scheduled it, but I will. So those are the upcoming offerings. Hi, Ivan. So if you follow me here in Insight Timer, please do so, and then you can see in your time zone what the time will be for you. But like I said, about 48 hours from now. Yeah, so let me do the math, because India, beloved India, they do their time zones for whatever reason. They have it on a half hour. So yeah, let me just do the math. So it will be Wednesday night, 11:45 p.m. Eastern time. So y'all convert that if you need to. But easier is just look in your app and it'll tell you in your time when it is. But yeah. Hi, Beth. Welcome. And yeah, please, if you care to give a donation here, you can do so. Don't forget to follow me. And so let's dive into what we're doing here. And actually, I feel like I want to draw a Lightseer's card or two, like with an intention that just to kind of give a read or give an energy on this specific conversations with God topic. I'm just feeling an impulse to do this, so I'm going to do it. And I know y'all love it, and I do too. Hi, Tawana. Welcome. Yeah, I'm feeling that. I also do individual readings. I do individual ancestral clearing and Reiki sessions, which if y'all have been with me, you have experienced in a group setting. And also spiritual life coaching. If you want to up level, create results, shift your mindset, create miracles, all that amazingness, you can reach out and schedule a complimentary session with me to apply. So let's see. Conversations with God. And please too, if you don't know this book, would love to hear if you've never experienced it, read it, heard of it, not heard of it, whatever you care to share. If it's impacted you, how it's impacted you. So we have a 10 of Swords energy. So what I'm feeling for this, my little table is full. Hi, Jenna. Is that this information, if it's for you, right? I want to preface what I'm saying and also this material with, I'm not here to convince anyone of anything or move anyone over to my side about all of this. I like the idea of like, take what you like and leave the rest. So, and I'm just sharing from my own place of conviction, belief, inspiration. So just to say that. And what this card is representing as far as what we're getting into with this information is leaving behind old ways of being, old ways of thinking that haven't served you, that have been disempowering, for a bright new dawn. You can see this light sky. And this is an energy that's, it's hopeful, but it's not, you're not skipping into the sunset, right? So what this book, if you're ready for it and open to it, it can transform your life and the way you view yourself, your world, the universe, and everything. And that can mean letting things go that are maybe familiar and comfortable, but are not your truth, are not the truth, and that have been holding you back. So it's kind of like a disentangling and a freeing yourself from limiting beliefs and ideas and mindsets and energies and maybe people and belief systems and structures, to embrace something new. But I feel like there's going to be like a letting go. And it might be painful. And this could apply, like, if this might be personal, if you're thinking about like something, a personal life situation, it could be around that for you as well. But around this conversations with God, like, this is not just about you. This is not just about me. This is about all of us together awakening. You know, I'm here with my friends. And we were talking about that, like, we're having just this amazing experience together. And I said that, I'm like, yes, it's about us in our own lives, and also it's about the collective. It's about the awakening of humanity. And when we step into our purpose and fulfill our potential, it's not just about us. It ripples outward, and it's bigger than us. Which, speaking of, I really wanted to do this. So if you follow me on social media, you might, and you follow my stories, you may have seen this. But yesterday we had the most amazing experience. So I'm going to take a pause and tell this story because it's super amazing. And it's in the lines about creating, right? And us creating our reality and being powerful creators. So I might have mentioned this in passing recently, but for those of you that follow me, you know that I incorporate the teaching of this book called How to Solve All Your Money Problems Forever. And I've been doing this book and what it says since August. And things are happening, things are changing, things are up-leveling and amazing. So part of that practice is doing something called glad giving, which you give away part of what every dollar, every income you receive, you give away a small portion. And so I've been doing this. So I had this, you know, thank goodness, and I'm so grateful, I had this chunk of money to give. And I was here in India, and I was, you know, in the ways I've traditionally given, I felt like, I feel like more giving to some, you know, a specific thing that's a little more structured felt like the right thing to do or the best thing to do. So I asked my friend who's from here, whose house I'm in, you know, hey, I have this money to give away. Like, do you have any ideas? Do you have, you know, somewhere you give? And he's like, yes, we give to this school nearby. It's an NGO school for children, and, you know, that are poor, basically. And so when you give, you can sponsor kids in there. You can give money, like, to buy the food for the kids. You can, and then supplies, all that type of thing. So he reached out. They didn't need supplies. They didn't need food at this time. So, but they said, because it's a little bit cold here, so they said the kids are cold when they sit on the floor for class, on the cold tile floor. It's so cute. I mean, not cute that they're cold, but so we bought them rugs. We bought all of these rugs for the floors of the school. And so yesterday we got to go present the gift, and we bought 300 chocolates, for one for every kid in the school. I'm going to cry. It was just the most moving experience. Yeah, it was just like pure love. But anyway, they took videos, they took photos. They sent this video to us last night, and I want to play it for you to the best of my ability on my phone. It's like 1 minute. I mean, it's just so amazing. And the kids' energy is just amazing. I wish you could see it a little bit more than what's there, but whatever, it's great. So I'm going to play this, and we're going to watch it. And it's me and my fellow Insight Timer BFF teacher, Alicia Bliss, and my Indian friends and then others. So let me know if you can't see it very well. Look, and it's got music. Oh, whoops. I was trying to turn up the volume. Ah, wait. Okay, let's go back. Okay. Here we are. So that's our Indian friends. They gave us cards, thank you cards they made. I was like trying not to cry so much. And we got to visit the class. And they know English. They were saying Om Namah Shivaya. That's us giving the chocolates. Alicia, our friends. So, yeah, it was just amazing. So, yeah. And it's a wonderful organization. They do accept like sponsorships and things. So, if you are interested in that, reach out. But yeah, that was amazing. And that's like, you know, when for me, I used to be a taker, and I was a taker in life because that's what I was, and that's okay because that's where I was. But now that I've shifted and transformed in the past few years, and I've discovered the joy of living in service, living to give, um, giving is receiving, all of that stuff like that. So me having, this intention that I give away, some of every dollar I receive, I got this idea, ooh, I can ask my friend if he has any ideas on how to give this money away. And then so it's like I created that experience, just like I've created this here, and we've all created our experience. So, the goal is that we harness our power of creation to create, what we choose and what we want. So, that's all for that. And we're going to go ahead and get into the book listening. So if you are following along in the audio, and I'm just going to play this from my phone, we are like an hour and 26 minutes into the recording. If you want me to share the audio recording that I'm going to play, send me a private message and I can send it to you. And like I said, I'm going to be channeling Reiki as we do this. And also, I am going to be stopping the audio for discussion when I feel the impulse to. So it might be in 5 seconds or 5 minutes or anything in between. But that's the way that works best, is to just, follow that impulse. So, does anybody have any questions or comments before we dive in? Hi, Astrid. Hi, Karen. Hi, Duchess. Yeah, thank you. It was amazing. Yeah, there's 4 like original Conversations with God books. There's 3 that were written close together. Then there's a 4th that was written quite a bit later. But then there's like 9, I think, in total. So I would just go with your impulse and go with your intuition on where to go with that. Yeah. I love book one. I can just read this one over and over, and that's where I'm at right now. So, but yes, there are many books of the Conversations with God series. So I invite you to settle in. I invite you to, unplug if you're scrolling or paying partial attention, um, to be with this material and be in this space, like letting, because it's so powerful and deep, and really give it respect, and give yourself respect too, and give yourself this space of full attention as we dive deeper. And as I said, I'm going to be channeling Reiki to everyone here that chooses to receive it. So let's let's get started. And tell me if the volume's too high, too low.
Space to produce a reality of a higher and higher you based on your grandest idea of what it is of which you are capable. To say that something, a thought, a word, an action is wrong would be as much as to tell you not to do it. To tell you not to do it would be to prohibit you. To prohibit you would be to restrict you. To restrict you would be to deny the reality of who you really are, as well as the opportunity for you to create and experience that truth. There are those who say that I have given you free will, yet these same people claim that if you do not obey me, I will send you to hell. What kind of free will is that? Does this not make a mockery of God? To say nothing of any sort of true relationship between us? Well, now we're getting into another area I wanted to discuss, and that's this whole business about heaven and hell. From what I'm gathering here, there's no such thing as hell. There is hell, but it is not what you think, and you do not experience it for the reasons you have been given. What is hell? It is the experience of the worst possible outcome of your choices, decisions, and creations. It is the natural consequence of any thought which denies me or says no to who you are in relationship to me. It is the pain you suffer through wrong thinking. Yet even the term wrong thinking is a misnomer, because there is no such thing as that which is wrong. Hell is the opposite of joy. It is unfulfillment. It is knowing who and what you are and failing to experience that. It is being less. That is hell. And there is none greater for your soul. But hell does not exist as this place you have fantasized, where you burn in some everlasting fire, exist in some state of everlasting torment. What purpose could I have in that? Even if I did hold the extraordinarily ungodly thought that you did not deserve heaven, why would I have a need to seek some kind of revenge or punishment for your failing? Wouldn't it be a simple matter for me to just dispose of you? What vengeful part of me would require that I subject you to eternal suffering of a type and at a level beyond description? If you answer, the need for justice, would not a simple denial of communion with me in heaven serve the ends of justice? Is the unending infliction of pain also required? I tell you, there is no such experience after death as you have constructed in your fear-based theologies. Yet there is an experience of the soul so unhappy, so incomplete, so less than whole, so separated from God's greatest joy, that to your soul this would be hell. But I tell you, I do not send you there, nor do I cause this experience to be visited upon you. You yourself create the experience, whenever and however you separate yourself from your own highest thought about you. You yourself create the experience, whenever you deny yourself, whenever you reject who and what you really are.
There is so much in there. Wow. I feel like we could listen to that 10 more times in a row. Wow. I mean, I told, like, this is just like bam. Not, I mean, not every single sentence, but most of it, a lot of it. Kieran, I guess you're ready to dive deep if this is your first moments with the book. So it opened with recapping about what the last time we met and listened, it was talking about free will and, this idea that about punishment and choice, and then it went into heaven and hell, and that, what would the purpose of a loving God have in having a hell where there's punishment? And what it was saying is that hell is our own creation and our own choosing when we basically deny ourselves like the truth of who we are, which is we are infinite, powerful, loving being. I mean, we are God beings. And then it said that hell was like the experience or like the consequence of our, like, the worst outcome of our thoughts. But yeah. It said hell is a denial of who and what we truly are. And it reminds me of a quote my friend has written here on a whiteboard in the hallway there. It says, well, let me get it out so I get it right. What one can be, one must be. What one can be, one must be. Abraham Maslow. So if you see a potential for yourself and you don't live into it, that can be hell. If you judge yourself as not enough, not worthy, not lovable, flawed, a bad person, that's hell, because it's not true and it's a disconnection from truth, from God. Hi, Ginger. I saw somebody else pop in. Awesome, Susie. So, do y'all want to listen to that again, or do you want to continue? Yeah. We'll get a read from the group. And I've listened to this audiobook like full, like over and over, probably 5 times. And it's like becoming a bit familiar and still. So I'll rewind it. I mean, that was just like a few minutes and then we'll continue. So we'll do that. So again, going back to you can see now if you're new with this experience, like to really be present, focused in the moment with this material, because it is that deep. So let's hope I can rewind this properly.
All about the rights and wrongs, the do's and don'ts, the shoulds and shouldn'ts, told me all those rules were laid down by you, by God. And those who taught you were wrong. I have never set down a right or wrong, a do or a don't. To do so would be to strip you completely of your greatest gift, the opportunity to do as you please and experience the results of that. The chance to create yourself anew in the image and likeness of who you really are. The space to produce a reality of a higher and higher you based on your grandest idea of what it is of which you are capable. To say that something, a thought, a word, an action is wrong would be as much as to tell you not to do it. To tell you not to do it would be to prohibit you. To prohibit you would be to restrict you. To restrict you would be to deny the reality of who you really are, as well as is the opportunity for you to create and experience that truth. There are those who say that I have given you free will, yet these same people claim that if you do not obey me, I will send you to hell. What kind of free will is that? Does this not make a mockery of God? To say nothing of any sort of true relationship between us?
Well, now we're getting into another area I wanted to discuss, and that's this whole business about heaven and hell. From what I'm gathering here, there's no such thing as hell.
There is hell, but it is not what you think, and you do not experience it for the reasons you've been given.
What is hell?
It is the experience of the worst possible outcome of your choices, decisions, and creations. It is the natural consequence of any thought which denies me or says no to who you are in relationship to me. It is the pain you suffer through wrong thinking. Yet even the term wrong thinking is a misnomer, because there is no such thing as that which is wrong. Hell is the opposite of joy. It is unfulfillment. It is knowing who and what you are and failing to experience that. It is being less. That is hell. And there is none greater for your soul. But hell does not exist as this place you have fantasized, where you burn in some everlasting fire, exist in some state of everlasting torment. What purpose could I have in that? Even if I did hold the extraordinarily ungodly thought that you did not deserve heaven, why would I have a need to seek some kind of revenge or punishment for your failing? Wouldn't it be a simple matter for me to just dispose of you? What vengeful part of me would require that I subject you to eternal suffering of a type and at a level beyond description? If you answer, the need for justice, would not a simple denial of communion with me in heaven serve the ends of justice? Is the unending infliction of pain also required? I tell you, there is no such experience after death as you have constructed in your fear-based theologies. Yet there is an experience of the soul so unhappy, so incomplete, so less than whole, so separated from God's greatest joy, that to your soul this would be hell. But I tell you, I do not send you there, nor do I cause this experience to be visited upon you. You yourself create the experience, whenever and however you separate yourself from your own highest thought about you. You yourself create the experience, whenever you deny yourself, whenever you reject who and what you really are. Yet even this experience is never eternal. It cannot be, for it is not my plan that you shall be separated from me forever and ever. Indeed, such a thing is an impossibility. For to achieve such an event, not only would you have to deny who you are, I would have to as well. This I will never do. And so long as one of us holds the truth about you, the truth about you shall ultimately prevail.
But if there is no hell, does that mean that I can do what I want, act as I wish, commit any act without fear of retribution?
Is it fear that you need in order to be, do, and have what is intrinsically right? Must you be threatened in order to be good? What is being good? Who gets to have the final say about that? Who sets the guidelines? Who makes the rules? I tell you this. You are your own rule maker. You set the guidelines. And you decide how well you have done, how well you are doing. For you are the one who has decided who and what you really are, and who you want to be. And you are the only one who can assess how well you're doing. No one else would judge you ever, for why and how could God judge God's own creation and call it bad? If I wanted you to be and do everything perfectly, I would have left you in the state of total perfection whence you came. The whole point of the process was for you to discover yourself, create yourself as you truly are, as you truly wish to be. Yet you could not be that unless you also had a choice to be something else. Should I therefore punish you for making a choice that I myself have laid before you? If I did not want you to make the second choice, why would I create other than the first? This is a question you must ask yourself before you would assign me the role of a condemning God. The direct answer to your question is yes, you may do as you wish without fear of retribution. It may serve you, however, to be aware of consequences. Consequences are results, natural outcomes. These are not at all the same as retributions or punishments. Outcomes are simply that. They are what results from the natural application of natural laws. They are that which occurs quite predictably as a consequence of what has occurred. All physical life functions in accordance with natural laws. Once you remember these laws and apply them, you have mastered life at the physical level. What seems like punishment to you, or what you would call evil or bad luck, is nothing more than a natural law asserting itself.
Then if I were to know these laws and obey them, I would never have a moment's trouble again. Is that what you're telling me?
You would never experience yourself as being in what you call trouble. You would not understand any life situation to be a problem. You would not encounter any circumstance with trepidation. You would put an end to all worry, doubt, and fear. You would live as you fantasize Adam and Eve lived, not as disembodied spirits in the realm of the absolute, but as embodied spirits in the realm of the relative. Yet you would have all the freedom, all the joy, all the peace, and all the wisdom, understanding, and power of the spirit you are. You would be a fully realized being. This is the goal of your soul. This is its purpose, to fully realize itself while in the body, to become the embodiment of all that it really is. This is my plan for you. This is my ideal, that I should become realized through you. That thus, concept is turned into experience, that I might know myself experientially. The laws of the universe are laws that I laid down. They are perfect laws, creating perfect function of the physical. Have you ever seen anything more perfect than a snowflake? Its intricacy, its design, its symmetry, its conformity to itself and originality from all else. All are a mystery. You wonder at the miracle of this awesome display of nature. Yet if I can do this with a single snowflake, what think you I can do, have done, with the universe? Were you to see the symmetry of it, the perfection of its design, from the largest body to the smallest particle, you would not be able to hold the truth of it in your reality. Even now, as you get glimpses of it, you cannot yet imagine or understand its implications. Yet you can know there are implications, far more complex and far more extraordinary than your present comprehension can embrace. Shakespeare said it wonderfully. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy.
Then how can...
Whew. Let that sink in. Is it what's sinking in for you? There's so much in that. And that quote that I said earlier, what one can be, one must be, is the perfect quote for summarizing what that was just saying. That, and we talk about we're spiritual beings here. Well, we're all spiritual beings, but we're realizing we're spiritual beings if we're in Insight Timer as listeners or teachers. This idea of enlightenment. A couple other descriptions of it are self-realization, self-actualization. And that's exactly what God was just saying. That we came here to live into who and what we truly are, to realize ourselves as God, and that God wants that experience through us. And that when we're not embodied in this physical world, that we know our perfection then. And that it happened here when we're in this illusion of separation. I mean, that's why, if we're on the spiritual journey, it's like everybody wants enlightenment. And I was speaking with somebody the other day about that, of like, the thing that's in the way of that is thinking that there's somewhere to get to because it's already here right now. It's just about having a miracle, a shift in perception. Yes, Wendy, yeah, the non-duality, which is something that I fully believe in. Jenna, glad that your question was answered. Yeah, and what purpose would hell serve? I mean, so there's a lot of, religious themes that this book touches into because it's there, it's important. So, yeah. Great, Jenna. Yeah, I say that one all the time because it's true, and that's from A Course in Miracles. So if this calls to you, I can send you the link to this audio that we're listening to. And if this calls to you, I invite you, as you can see, this is something you study. Like, you don't breeze through this material. I mean, you can, and maybe you're higher on the scale than me, but for me, I get to listen to this over and over. So we're just like doing a surface skim. Yeah, so please send me a private message if you want the link. If I put it here, they'll delete it. It's automatically deleting it. Astrid, that's a great suggestion. And for those of you that don't know, please join my group here in Insight Timer, Natalie's Healing Circle, and we can share more directly there. However, I think the app is set up, certain links they will automatically delete. So it's best, because it's an external link, that you send me a message anywhere, Insight Timer or whatever, and I'll send you the link that way. So, hi Stephanie, long time no see. So, do y'all want to pause and let that sink in for the day, or you want to listen to some more before we close? And as a reminder too, I've been channeling Reiki to all of you here, and if you see the replay in YouTube, it will also go there. But yeah, if you have a preference, Tawana wants to listen to more, great. If you all have other preferences, share your preferences, and we'll do what we choose. So yeah, great. So we'll keep listening a bit longer. So Stephanie, welcome. I'm sending Reiki to those who are here as we listen to this audio Conversations with God. So I'm going to continue on for the last few minutes of our session.
I know these laws. How can I learn them?
It is not a question of learning, but of remembering.
How can I remember them?
Begin by being still. Quiet the outer world so that the inner world might bring you sight. This insight is what you seek, yet you cannot have it while you are so deeply concerned with your outer reality. Seek, therefore, to go within as much as possible. And when you are not going within, come from within as you deal with the outside world. Remember this axiom: if you do not go within, you go without. Put it in the first person as you repeat it to make it more personal. If I do not go within, I go without. You have been going without all your life, yet you do not have I promised you less? For thousands of years, people have disbelieved the promises of God for the most extraordinary reason. They were too good to be true. So you've chosen a lesser promise, a lesser love. For the highest promise of God proceeds from the highest love. Yet you cannot conceive of a perfect love, and so a perfect promise is also inconceivable, as is a perfect person. Therefore, you cannot believe even in yourself. Failing to believe in any of this means failure to believe in God. For belief in God produces belief in God's greatest gift, unconditional love, and God's greatest promise, unlimited potential.
May I interrupt you here? I hate to interrupt God when he's on a roll, but I've heard this talk of unlimited potential before, and it doesn't square with the human experience. Forget the difficulties encountered by the average person. What about the challenges of those born with mental or physical limitations? Is their potential unlimited?
You have written so in your own scripture, in many ways and in many places.
Give me one reference.
Look to see what you have written in Genesis chapter 11, verse 6 of your Bible.
It says, and the Lord said, behold, the people are one, and they have all one language, and this is only the beginning of what they will do. And now nothing will be restrained from them which they have imagined to do.
Yes. Now, can you trust that?
Well, that does not answer the question of the feeble, the infirm, the handicapped, those who are limited.
You think they are limited, as you put it, not of their choice? Do you imagine that a human soul encounters life challenges, whatever they may be, by accident? Is this your imagining?
Do you mean that a soul chooses what kind of life it will experience ahead of time?
No, that would defeat the purpose of the encounter. The purpose is to create your own experience and thus create yourself in the glorious moment of now. You do not therefore choose the life you will experience ahead of time. You may, however, select the persons, places, and events, the conditions and circumstances, the challenges and obstacles, the opportunities and options with which to create your experience. You may select the colors for your palette, the tools for your chest, the machinery for your shop. What you create with these is your business. That is the business of life. Your potential is unlimited in all that you've chosen to do. Do not assume that a soul which has been incarnated in a body which you call limited has not reached its full potential, for you do not know what that soul was trying to do. You do not understand its agenda. You are unclear as to its intent. Therefore, bless every person and condition and give thanks. Thus you affirm the perfection of God's creation and show your faith in it. For nothing happens by accident in God's world, and there is no such thing as coincidence. Nor is the world buffeted by random choice or something you call fate. If a snowflake is utterly perfect in its design, do you not think the same could be said about something as magnificent as your life?
But even Jesus healed the sick. Why would he heal them if their condition was so perfect?
Jesus did not heal those he healed because he saw their condition as imperfect. He healed those he healed because he saw those souls asking for healing as part of their process. He saw the perfection of the process. He recognized and understood the soul's intention. But Jesus felt that all illness, mental or physical, represented imperfection. Would he not have simply healed everyone on the planet all at once? Do you doubt that he could do this?
No. No, I believe he could have.
Good. Then the mind begs to know, why did he not do it? Why would the Christ choose to have some suffer and others be healed? For that matter, why does God allow any suffering at any time? This question has been asked before, and the answer remains the same. There is perfection in the process. And all life arises out of choice. It is not appropriate to interfere with choice or to question it. It is particularly inappropriate to condemn it. What is appropriate is to observe it and then to do whatever might be done to assist the soul in seeking and making a higher choice. Be watchful, therefore, of the choices of others, but not judgmental. Know that their choice is perfect for them in this moment now. Yet stand ready to assist them should the moment come when they seek a newer choice, a different choice, a higher choice. Move into communion with the souls of others, and their purpose, their intention will be clear to you. This is what Jesus did with those he healed. And with all those whose lives he touched, Jesus healed all those who came to him or who sent others to him, supplicating for them. He did not perform a random healing. To have done so would have been to violate a sacred law of the universe. Allow each soul to walk its path.
But does that mean we must not help anyone without being asked? Surely not. Or we would never be able to help the starving children of India, or the tortured masses of Africa, or the poor, or the downtrodden anywhere. All humanitarian effort would be lost, all charity forbidden. Must we wait for an individual to cry out to us in desperation, or for a nation of people to plead for help before we're allowed to do what is obviously right?
You see, the question answers itself. If the thing is obviously right, do it. Remember to exercise extreme judgment regarding what you call right and wrong. A thing is only right or wrong because you say it is. A thing is not right or wrong intrinsically.
It isn't.
Rightness or wrongness is a subjective judgment in a personal value system. By your subjective judgments do you create yourself. By your personal values do you determine and demonstrate who you are. The world exists exactly as it is so that you may make these judgments. If the world existed in perfect condition, your life process of self-creation would be terminated. It would end. A lawyer's career would end tomorrow were there no more litigation. A doctor's career would end tomorrow were there no more illness. A philosopher's career would end tomorrow were there no more questions.
And God's career would end tomorrow were there no more problems.
Precisely. You have put it perfectly. We, all of us, would be through creating were there nothing more to create. We, all of us, have a vested interest in keeping the game going. Much as we all say we would like to solve all the problems, we dare not solve all the problems, or there will be nothing left for us to do. Your industrial military complex understands this very well. That is why it opposes mightily any attempt to install a war no more government anywhere. Your medical establishment understands this too. That is why it staunchly opposes. It must, it has to for its own survival. Any new miracle drug or cure, to say nothing of the possibility of miracles themselves. Your religious community also holds this clarity. That is why it attacks uniformly any definition of God, which does not include fear, judgment, and retribution, and any definition of self, which does not include their own idea of the only path to God. If I say to you, you are God, where does that leave religion? If I say to you, you are healed, where does that leave science and medicine? If I say to you, you shall live in peace, where does that leave the peacemakers? If I say to you, the world is fixed, where does that leave the world? What now of plumbers? The world is filled with essentially two kinds of people. Those who give you things you want and those who fix things. In a sense, even those who simply give you things you want, the butchers, the bakers, the candlestick makers are also fixers. For to have a desire for something is often to have a need for it. That is why addicts are said to need a fix. Be careful, therefore, that desire not become addiction.
Okay. Breathe deeply. Trust that you will recall and retain what you're meant to in this moment. And if you feel called to dive deeper into this information on your own, or continuing when we have future live streams on this topic, that you join in. And again, I can send you the audio link, but send me a private message and I'll do that. So, anybody have any thoughts on that? Wow. Before and as we close. So I've channeled Reiki throughout. Yeah, it's just power packed, Susie, totally. Awesome, Lorraine. Yeah, time to process. Heather, feel free to ask. Welcome as well. If you are new to me, don't forget to follow me before we go. If you care to give a donation and appreciation, that's appreciated, never expected. And follow me everywhere. I'm dual live streaming right now on another platform. So follow me on all the social media stuff. Thank you, Duchess. I almost paused and asked somebody to write that out. If I don't go within, I go without. Let that land for you. Because the outside is like a result. The inside is where the creation occurs and where our power lies. If we go to the outside and try and fix or change out here, we're going to the wrong place. Or not wrong, but we will go without. If we go within, that's where everything comes from. Awesome, Lorraine. Thank you, Astrid, for the donation. Yeah, hearing that sounds like a difficult situation, Heather. So what's your question? I'm going to get a sip of water and we are going to wrap up here in a minute. If you care to reach out one-on-one and set up a spiritual life coaching session with me, please follow that intuitive nudge if you have it. Yeah, send me a private message. And you can see my profile here on the app, and there's a link that shows everywhere I am. So, how do you let it go? That's a great question. What do you think? So here's a little bit of coaching. Because if we were in a one-on-one coaching session, this is what I would ask you. If you were asking me, how do I let it go? My first question would be to ask you that. And really take that in and think, how do you let it go? Your most, the most impactful answers are going to come from you anyway. And actually, what we listened to today talked about that. There was a little nugget among all the other nuggets that talked about, I don't remember exactly, but something around our, what insights that we have within ourselves are the most powerful, or that's what it reminded me of, whatever it said. So I can definitely share my thoughts on how to let it go. And the most powerful answers a lot of times come from within. And if you want to have a conversation about that, I'm happy to do that. So, do you have any answer? And you don't have to share also. You're welcome, Tawana. I'm so glad that you came. And Stephanie, who hasn't been here in a while. And I mean, all of you that are here all the time. And yeah, however you're here, So, gotta get my voice set for my super high quality recording with the best microphone in the world. Get to get my voice clear. Awesome, Lorraine. So you still have your Reiki. It doesn't matter how long it's been. Just FYI. I didn't practice Reiki for 10 or 15 years. I got attuned in 2002 myself. Yeah, attuned. Yeah, you're still attuned. So Heather, what I'm hearing, if I may say, just because you brought this in, you know, sure, your children are affected, and also the guilt is about you. And I don't know how much you've heard of this Conversations with God material that we've covered today, but the answers around that are in the material, that there's no good, bad, right, and wrong unless it's what you believe and give power to. So for you to be open-minded to that idea takes a letting go, as we talked about, of these old ideas. You are not in your child's life at this time. You feel guilty. You feel you've wasted time. As what we just heard, it doesn't mean it's wrong or bad or shouldn't have happened. Your belief about it makes it that way. So the place to start would be to see if you're open-minded and willing to even believe that idea. So, and that could be, there could be we could go on with that, but that's the nugget I'll give you for in this context here. Wonderful, Maureen. Thank you. Nancy, you're also level 1 Reiki and studying your level 2. Awesome. Yeah, so Stephanie, when I started tarot, it was in 2015, and my deck came with a book, and it came with a sample spread, tarot spread to start with. It was a perfect beginner's deck for me. And I just started using it. And so, all the cards, I would look and see, what does this card mean? And, it takes practice. And so it's about the meanings of the cards, and it's also about your intuition. It's a springboard. The tarot to me is a springboard, is an opening to your own insight and intuition. Yeah, tarot's amazing. I mean, that was my experience. I'm like, oh my gosh, how are these cards? Like, I don't even know what I'm doing. How are they able to be so perfect? Oh, nice. So, Heather, too, I mean, having to stop the thoughts, that feels kind of harsh, right? You get to soften. I mean, what I see here is like a lot of self-acceptance and forgiveness and acceptance of the past. with yourself. And if you want to be a mom, like, again, going back to what Conversations with God said, if I don't go within, I go without in the external world. So when you shift your energy here, the outside world will change. If you want your children back in your life, you doing the internal work will be the best thing to do to create that. You want to be a mom every day. Be a mom to yourself now. Parent yourself. And think about how much of this scenario, and I'm being tough love here, so, and I'm just trusting what I'm saying, that you're up for it because it's here, that this is more about you than them. So I'll just leave that there, and it's said with love. Wonderful, Stephanie. So you got the Lover's card, which we just pulled in the live stream the other day. So Stephanie, I have all my replays on my YouTube, so maybe that message from the last live session, the last Saturday Night Live, the tarot message in there, maybe there's something in there for you if you care to review that. So I don't draw personal cards in the group sessions, and love that you asked. I do individual readings, and yeah, I'm feeling like for you to check out that message in the replay, there's something there for you. So we're going to end here. I'm going to get on to my my rapid transformational therapy hypnosis recording that's going to be so powerful and amazing for whoever chooses to listen to it, anyone here. And again, I don't know how yet. I'm not clear on how I'm going to present it or offer it. I know to my coaching clients. And yeah, we'll see. But I'm going to do the recording now. So super excited. I will see you guys in about 48 hours. I will be 25 years without alcohol and drugs. That just blows my freaking mind. And I'm going to be, sharing about the dynamics about that, because I hit a horrible bottom and my life was over, and yet that was the beginning of my life. So if you're feeling low, down, stuck, hopeless, if it's addiction or not, it doesn't really matter. I mean, my story is in the context of alcohol and drug addiction. But if you're facing anything where you feel, you can't change, or maybe you feel you're hitting a bottom and think your life's over, it can be the beginning of a life you can never dream of. So come and join for that. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I'm honored to receive that. And congratulations for your recovery, and anyone else here as well. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. See you all. And I will be back in my lovely apartment in the south of India, leaving for now behind this setup. And it's, it's a nice accoutrement, as if you will, but it's not about the background. It's about the energy, the intention, the presence. And I get to acknowledge myself for my creation and the co-creation, and I'm amazing. And when I own that within myself, that ripples outward to you. And I'm saying that from a humble place and a true place, which is what we listened to today. It was saying that, about us actualizing and realizing our potential, that we are God and we are amazing and we are just everything we can imagine ourselves to be. So Heather, thank you for sharing what you did, and you doing that inner work to forgive yourself, and then also create yourself who you want to be. Be the energy of the mother now in this moment, inside of yourself, for yourself. I mean, for me, I had all these transformational things before I up-leveled externally, and that's still continuing. So see you all soon. Much love. Namaste from India. Bye-bye.